Hello, everybody. It's another day streaming live. And we got four authors today. Jerry Pallotta, that's me. I'm from Boston. I didn't wear my tie today. I'm wearing my Red Sox shirt because I'm really sad there's no sports. And then there's Mike Artell. Where are you from, Mike Artell?
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, living in Covington, about 25 miles away.
And there's Mike Shoulders. Where are you from, Mike?
I live in Clarksville, Tennessee, home of the 101st Airborne Division at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. 75% of Fort Campbell is in Tennessee.
Wow.
Very good. And we have one more guy, Steve Swinburne. Where are you?
I'm in Vermont. I'm wearing my Stratton Mountain shirt. Stratton Mountain is a great place to ski. They've just closed down. They had a good season. We had lots of snow, and I'm in Stratton. I'm in southern Vermont. Happy to be here.
Well, we all decided we'd come back on Friday and do a show for you teachers and you kids that aren't in school. We're not in school. We're sad. You're not in school, but we thought we'd do a show. Hey, for all you really little kids out there, really little kids, I thought I would read one of my books. And it's a really sophisticated book, you other authors. I hope you're not embarrassed. All right. But you ready? There it is right there. Oh yeah, by the way, today the four of us talked about it. We decided we'd try to have a butterfly theme as much as we could. A butterfly theme. I know that Mike Artell has a butterfly book. Steve Swinburne has a butterfly book. I have 3 butterfly books. Mike Shoulders, I don't think he has a butterfly book. But there's butterflies in Clarksville, Tennessee. All right, ready, you guys? I'm going to read this book for all you little kids out there. And it goes like this. This took a long time to write, and I had to have all the spelling checked multiple times. It goes like this. 1, red. 2, 2, blue. 3, green. 4, purple. Don't laugh, you guys. 5,
Slow down.
orange. Mike Artell, do you think you could read this at night, in one night? You think you could read it in one night?
Not in one sitting.
6, black. Whoops, my phone just fell over. 6, black. 7, white.
Hold on, let me count those. You're going very fast.
All right, go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay,
Good job.
thank you.
That's my granddaughter's name.
7. Oh, it is. Look at
There's a connection.
that.
We
8,
see your thumb.
8, brown. 9, yellow.
Hello.
10, pink.
Nice.
There you go. Guys, you just saw Kirkus starred review book. How's that?
Nice. Very nice.
Jerry,
Okay.
how long, I'd love to ask you as a fellow author, how long did it take you to research and write that book?
It took me, and let's see, I wrote that about five years ago. It took me 62 years.
Fantastic.
I had to be born. Then I went to elementary school. Then I went to high school. Then I went to college. Then I worked in a insurance business for a while. Then I started writing books. And then I wrote a butterfly alphabet book. Here's a butterfly alphabet book. So I learned a little bit about butterflies.
Hmm.
And then I wrote a butterfly counting book. I learned
Wow.
about butterflies. And then I wrote not a butterfly alphabet book. This is a book of moths.
Cool.
There you go. So along the way, I learned a lot about butterflies
Yeah.
and moths.
So
Well,
Jerry,
what I love what you're saying, Jerry, is that sometimes all of our experience as authors end up being in a book.
That's right. By the way, I love the cover.
Yeah.
You know, I tried to do it like a rainbow of colors of butterflies because they're all different colors. So there you go.
so
Okay.
Jerry, that book, that was the first one you read, right? The numbers and colors.
Yeah, colors and counting, butterfly count, colors and counting.
Do you realize per word, Jerry gets paid more than any author in the world? But books.
Actually, see, I did a book, Butterfly Counting. It counts to 25.
Yeah,
And I'm sorry, the cover's a little shiny.
that's cool.
I did a full 32-page book, color picture book. But, the illustrator and I weren't really in sync. And at first, she only had like half the book done. So we grabbed those and we did that little book.
Huh.
We had no idea it would become.
Jerry, the wonderful thing about reading a book is wondering how it's going to end. And I was just anxious to get to the last page of that book to see how it would end. And it ended perfectly with 10.
10.
Mike Shoulders, I totally agree with you. Every book should have a story. Kind of.
Okay, here's the
This
story.
book was a wonderful story.
Here's the story. Count the butterflies from 1 to 10, learn their colors, then count again.
Perfect.
There you go.
So it's a book that you can revisit again and again and again.
From 1 to 10.
I read that for those little guys out there.
Yeah.
Has anybody else had the experience, Jerry? You were talking about changing horses in midstream there with the illustrations. I had that experience with a publisher where a publisher asked me to illustrate the night before Christmas, and I decided to do it. I didn't bring it with me, doggone it, but I decided to do it in torn paper. So I did the entire illustrations in torn paper, and I was about 3/4 of the way through, and the publisher said, you know what, we've decided we're not going to do a Christmas book this year. So you can go ahead and keep the advance, but we're going to kill the book. And it's like, I had put months of work into this thing. And has anybody else had, by the way, it finally did get published with another publisher, but has anybody else had that experience of in midstream getting a book killed or postponed severely?
Well, I wrote a book called Hershey Fractions, and then I wrote a book, Apple Fractions, and then I wrote a book, Pizza Fractions. And then I asked if I could do multiplying fractions and adding fractions. And I did adding fractions. And after it came out, the publisher said, we don't want multiplying fractions. So that was the end of that.
Wow.
So that did happen,
Yeah.
it happens. It's okay. They were nice to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did happen.
Yeah. Well, actually, my publisher wasn't. So they said, you can keep the advance, but if you sell it to another publisher, we want the advance back. And I said, no. So
You said my name. Yeah.
Yeah. So a long time ago, though. That was a long time. It was 20-something years ago. So anyway.
Who's next? You're going to draw a little, Mike?
I'll do it. I want to see the other guys, maybe between Steve and Michael.
Stephen, why don't you read your butterfly book or whatever?
Thank you. Thank you, Jerry. That was a nice segue into my book, because your book is really, really for younger kids, like brand new readers.
Like 1 and 2 years old.
Yeah, that's great. This one's a little bit further along. They call this a reader, and it's level 2. So I'm thinking 3rd, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in that range for age. And it basically what it is, it's a book about how a butterfly grows from all the different stages. And as we know, go along with me, guys, here. Everybody repeat after me that there are 4 stages to a butterfly. 1, egg. What did I say?
Egg.
2, caterpillar.
Caterpillar.
Or larva. 3, chrysalis.
Moth.
And 4, adult butterfly.
Adult butterfly.
You know what I learned
So
that I found really interesting? There's no such thing as a baby butterfly.
That's right.
Oh, right. I never thought about that. Yeah.
All butterflies are adults.
That's right. Yeah. And some kids go to me, hey, Steve, we see butterflies in cocoons all the time. And what I learned as a naturalist is that Moths are in cocoons. Butterflies are in chrysalis or pupa.
Oh,
Can you see me on the plant? I'm a little caterpillar. I grew in an egg, then I hatched. Hope you guys can see that. That's a tiny monarch caterpillar. Wind fills the air. I hang on to a branch so I don't fall. Rain falls. It clips and plops. I need to drink water. I drink the small drops. I love having fun with language. Plips and plops, I thought was a fun couple of words to put in there for real young readers.
Can I interrupt for 1 second, Steve?
Sure. Yeah.
How many legs, you tell the audience, how many legs does a caterpillar have?
327.
No.
it's
6.
that seventh one that gets you.
6.
6. It looks like they have more because of all those stripes,
Right.
but they don't. They have 6 legs because they're what?
Insects.
Insects.
Good.
And I made a mistake in a book. In my let me hold on. Thank you for that interruption, Jerry. In my book called Lots and Lots of Zebra Stripes: Patterns in Nature, I was doing a big program in this big auditorium in Pennsylvania for like 300 third graders. And at the end of the program, the kids are filing out, and this kid goes, "Hey, Steve, you got a mistake in your book." And I looked at the kid and I go, "Hey, kid, I don't make mistakes in my book. They're thoroughly researched." He goes, "Yeah, turn to the back of the book." So I did, like a good author. He said, "Let's see if you guys, how good you guys are, how smart you are. See if you can pick this up. Where's the mistake? Can you find patterns on insects?"
Is that a spider?
Yes. That's an arachnid.
So a spider is not an insect. A spider has how many legs?
8.
You guys are good. So there's my mistake. So the editor, I didn't get it. The editor didn't get it. Nobody got it until this kid in the third grade assembly in Pennsylvania. It should have said, "Can you find patterns on insects and spiders?"
Nice.
So this mistake continues to live on, and this book has been in print for many, many years.
You mean you haven't fixed it?
No, we don't fix things. We're sending out this information.
Hey, hang on a second. We have a question from Melanie.
Great.
Melanie Collins. And Melanie wants to know, how do you get something published initially? Boy, what a question, huh?
Wow, that could take 2 hours.
Melanie, I'll just tell you the real quick answer from me. If you talk to 20 authors, you'll probably get 20 different answers. And I suspect each one of us had a little different path. So first of all, you have to understand, you have to kind of define what getting published means. Some people have different ideas about getting published. Some people self-publish. Some people just do Kindle books. Some people do work with different kinds of publishers, mass market publishers or educational publishers. One of you guys, Michael, you want to just talk about a little bit about how you got first published?
I will, but I could tell Melanie privately because she's in Tennessee. She's down in Middle Tennessee, so I know her. But I'll say what I did. I heard a speaker once before I was a published author say, "Don't try to do it. It's too difficult." And I also read that the average first sale is 5 years with what I call legitimate publishing through a publishing house, Scholastic, Hyperion, Sleeping Bear Press, who does most of my books, that the average first sale takes 5 years. It took me exactly 4 years and 10 months, very average. Now, Melanie's question is, how do you get something published? So it really has changed since then, because back in the day, you sent things to publishers that were accepting things. And now so many of them are closed to unsolicited submissions that you have to go through an agent. So Melanie, let me say, I'm probably the last one to talk about this because I've been blessed with my publishers and my publishing. I do not have an agent. Steve, do you have an agent?
Used to, but no longer.
Mike, do you?
I did for 20 something years, and she retired about 3 months ago.
Jerry?
I do not have an agent.
Well, none of us have agents. So let's talk about how we might do it. You simply write a story, get it to where you think it's something that is publishable. You have to do your research. If you're going to publish a book, you have to send it to the right company that publishes that type of material for its readers. So you go on the web, or you go to some way to find out who is accepting unsolicited manuscripts. You send it to them with a return envelope with postage prepaid. They read it. If they like it, they'll call you generally and say, we love your work and we're going to publish it and we'll send you a contract. Mike.
Yeah, just real quickly. The children's writers and illustrators market is also good, but
I couldn't think of that.
I'm seeing more and more publishers saying we only want email submissions. So, a lot of them don't want to fool with the paper anymore. So yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
And if I could add one thing to both of Mike's comments, especially in this time of the virus and everybody hunkering down at home, that be patient. This has slowed down things tremendously, and publishing has always been pretty much, certainly for the newcomer, it runs at a glacial speed. So be prepared. If you finished a piece and you send it off, don't go to the mailbox every minute thinking I'm going to hear, or wait by the phone. Forget about it and move on to the next project, because sometimes you may not hear. I've had things sit with an editor for a year, and sometimes I'll get back a report, it's good or it's not good. So don't waste your time, move on to another project.
Steve, just to add just a little bit to that what you said was so important. You kind of moved past it quickly, but send your work off, however you're going to do it, and then immediately start on something else. I think probably most of us have a pipeline, and we try to keep that pipeline full of stuff, and different projects are in different stages on the pipeline. But Jerry, that's where the sales thing comes back again, right? You got to have a sales pipeline. You got to have stuff in the works the whole time.
You really do.
You don't want to emotionally invest in your one manuscript and then constantly keep getting rejected because it's just it's brutal. So
this is what I think. Yeah. This is what I think, Melissa. If you have a creative idea and it's different and it's clever, the publishers will buy it. That's what I think. If you write a book that's just like everyone else's book, you wouldn't get as much interest. And by the way, one of the coolest things I've learned was from Roland Smith, who said to me, I don't write books, I finish them. That's nice. Incredible advice. Nice. A lot of people have great ideas and they start to write and they never finish them.
Well, that's true.
So,
wow.
So just remember that one. I don't write books, I finish them.
Yeah, finishing your manuscript is super important. Everybody can start it.
And send it in.
We got another question. Julie,
is it wise to send to more than one publisher?
Say that again.
Is it wise to send to more than one publisher? Melanie has asked. And Melanie, you're talking about either having an exclusive submission to one editor or a simultaneous submission to lots of different editors. And I think most editors and publishing houses agree now that because the field is so crowded with submissions, that you probably should send to not 100, but maybe a select 4, 5, 6 publishers. That's what I've done in my career.
Julie Hallam says, how do you become a publisher?
How do you become a publisher? You make up a name for yourself. You accumulate some cash. You print your own book.
What do you think it costs to print? Like one, if I were starting a publishing company, how much would it cost to publish one title? 5,000 copies.
You were asking me?
Yeah, just to speculate. You've been in the business a long while. Because if Julie's asking that, you said she has to have some cash. We're talking some serious cash.
I don't know what serious is. Bill Gates has serious cash.
Yeah.
I would say,
Jerry Pallotta has serious
It-
cash.
I don't think so. I would say that if you printed 10,000 copies, let's say, you could print them for $1.27, maybe $1.25
Paperback?
paperback, and then maybe add $1 for hardcover, or maybe $2.
You know,
I think you could do that.
one thing we haven't said that I think needs to be said is
You
for
could print
Melanie.
5 copies. You could print 5 copies at
Well, you're not much of
FedEx.
a publisher though if
FedEx
you're doing
office.
that. Another thing, if you're going to submit to any company, if you go online, most of them have their submission guidelines on the web. So you can see which ones will accept multiple submissions. Melanie asked about sending to more than one. Melanie, you want to follow their guidelines. If they say that they do not take multiple submissions, you don't want to send them to them and other people. You want to give them an exclusive.
Julie, just real quickly, as an old joke, how do you make $1 million in the publishing business? You start with 2 million.
That's some serious cash.
So,
I don't know.
Well, Steve has bailed on us.
I think if you have a great idea,
Oh, I'm back. You know, the thing when you
I
start
think if you
talking
have a
about
great idea,
this is
publishers will buy
a
it.
self-published book right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's called Alligators Make the Best Moms. And I tried to get this published through regular traditional publishing. And I love this guy's photography, Dr. Louis Gallet from South Carolina. We could not get it published. So I went to my local printing source and I started printing about 100 copies of these for like, I can't remember exactly, but I think it might've been $300. There were no hardcovers, just paperback. It was a 32-page photo illustrated book all about how moms protect their babies, and there's eggs in here. And I don't know if you can see any of those pictures. Very simple text.
It's a great nonfiction book.
Thank you. And you know, if you have an idea and you have the art, what's wrong with just giving it a shot? You know, getting it out there, seeing if it has any legs. And I sell this at my school visits, at conferences, and I was passionate about telling the story of this alligator mom and how they're so protective. So the beauty of what's happening today in this world of publishing is that you can have a book out there in the market.
That's a beautiful book. I congratulate you. But I want to know, where is Tiger makes the best moms? Where is snakes make the best moms? Where is tarantulas make the best moms?
Ride that horse.
I'm sitting there waiting for those. You're
See,
waiting for
this is why Jerry has been so successful. It's this marketing sense, you know.
Hey, seahorses make the worst moms.
that's right. Female seahorses. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I would write that ukuleles make the best moms.
Like that.
Jeez.
Can I talk about my books with butterflies in them?
Yeah, go.
Sure.
Or Mike, do you want to draw now?
Oh, no, go ahead. You're doing good.
We'll save the drawing for last, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I do not have a butterfly book, but I do have 2 books that have butterflies in them. And earlier today, I got online and found out some states have official state birds, official state trees, and 27 states have official state butterflies. Jerry, you're in Massachusetts. Do you all have a state butterfly?
I don't think I've ever heard that we have a state butterfly.
You do not.
Really?
You actually do not.
Wow.
I know the state bird is a chickadee.
Okay. Well, that's another show. So
Is that next week, Mike?
yes,
Yeah.
15 states have their own single butterfly that no other state has. 7 have the monarch.
What do we have? I'm in Vermont. What do we have, Mike?
Vermont is the monarch.
Wow. Great.
Louisiana have one?
Louisiana does
The
not
alligator.
have one.
We have
The
a state
painted lady.
fact, we got a mosquito.
So anyway, so here's what I want the people who are watching to know. Sleeping Bear Press has a series of books about the states, all 50 states, and they're nonfiction books, and they're written on 2 levels. So one can go through the book. For instance, this is a page about Nashville. So every page has a piece of poetry. I believe they're all 4 lines. I think that's pretty universal. So Nashville begins with the letter N. It's the capital of our state. Lawmakers meet in the Music City to make Tennessee first rate. So this is about Tennessee. Well, on the side, there's expository text that extends that to additional learning. Many of these books have a Lexile score that's fairly high. So these are appropriate even for middle school and for adults that make lovely coffee table books. But what I want the viewers to know is all 50 states are in existence, all 50 states. I did not write them. I only wrote 3 books in the series because it takes a long time to do the research, to write the poetry, and put it together. So, for instance, let's see what's back here. Massachusetts, M is for Mayflower. Massachusetts, that's the Massachusetts alphabet book.
Is there one for Vermont?
There is one for, there's one for everyone. And if you go to Sleeping Bear Press, you can see .com. sleepingbearpress.com, you can see all the states. Now, the back of these books, like here's my Magnolia book, illustrated by Rick Anderson. He's in Mississippi. This is illustrated by Bruce Langton in Northern Indiana. So they put a smattering on the back. And Steve, I'm so upset. I can't remember what the Vermont one is.
Well, I think probably V stands for very cold. That's what I'm guessing.
Iceberg. M is for maple.
Yeah, maple syrup.
I bet it's M is for maple.
Yeah.
Our tree, Mike, is the sugar maple tree.
Sure.
You know, where we get the sap from and turning into. That's happening right now in Vermont. People are gathering sap.
Well, let me show you 2 pages of my books because Jerry,
Right.
I love butterflies. So this book ends with the zebra swallowtail.
Oh, nice.
And so that is our state. And I'm going to tell you the story behind it because it's over here. I may read it to you. Isn't that a beautiful painting?
Yes.
It almost looks like a photograph.
So let me read the expository text to give our viewers a sense of how Sleeping Bear Press does this. It was the summer of, and I'm going to paraphrase, the summer of '94. A biology teacher in Gallatin was at a conference and somebody asked her what our state butterfly was. And she said, I don't know. She went back and she contacted a lawmaker and he said, we don't have one. You tell me what it is and I'll get it done. They surveyed every single student in Sumner County and they all voted and they picked the zebra swallowtail. And in 1995, it became the state butterfly. Now, I want to show you this one. This is my book about Mississippi. And I want you to see how similar the 2 books are, but they're also different because they have different illustrators. This is the zebra swallowtail. This is the spice bush swallowtail. It's from Mississippi.
We get those up here in Vermont.
Steve, different illustrator.
Yeah.
So this series is done. He lives in Mississippi. He knows Mississippi. And so that is the spice bush swallowtail.
That's a beautiful butterfly.
Now this is Rick Anderson's work, but I want you to see what he did. This is genius. Repeat after me. Genius.
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 Artell.
In the Mississippi alphabet, he hid the word Mississippi.
Oh, nice.
In the caterpillar?
In the brush.
In the brush, in the honeysuckle.
Really clever.
So anyway, it's fun for the kids to look for that and find the word Mississippi.
Mike, there's a swallowtail, a zebra swallowtail. It's in my book.
Is it a zebra? Is it black and white?
Icky Bug County. Icky Bug County.
By the way, guys, Michael Kinder and Angel Herring are bragging on their states. West Virginia's state butterfly is the monarch, and Texas is the monarch as well.
You know, I met Angel when I was down in Texas. I'm so glad to see her here. Hi, Angel. Hey, Mike. I've also met Mike up in West Virginia. What are you showing, Steve?
Well, what just while we're talking about monarchs, guys, and there's so many of us that know the monarch butterfly, not like it's the only one. Mike, you've been talking about the zebra wing and the spicebush swallowtail. I'm started a monarch way station, which is basically a glorified butterfly garden. So I have a whole bunch of flowers in there that attract the adults, and not just butterflies, but bees and flies and so many other insects. And this year I'm planting a whole bunch of different species of milkweed to attract this this beautiful orange and black and white monarch butterfly. So we can all help out the monarch butterfly by whether even if you're in the city, you might be right in Boston or in New York, and you've got like a little balcony with a you could put some plants in there.
What are those two cities again? What are those two cities again?
Boston and New York.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So wherever you are, if you have some seeds, and I wanted to share with people, this is a monarch. This is a milkweed seed.
Can't see it.
So I could put
that little seed.
Steve.
They come from these giant fluffs of ball. That little seed will grow into a magnificent plant that will invite so many different insects and butterflies to a garden. So I'll be planting these seeds in the next coming weeks to really get my garden, my butterfly garden going.
Steve, can you mail me a few and I'll put them on my balcony?
Absolutely. Seriously, I will. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I know a lot of books have monarchs in them. And when I was writing my butterfly book, guess what? I didn't do a monarch.
Yeah.
I did Magdalena alpine, the only all black butterfly in the world. How do you like that?
Where is that found, Jerry?
I believe it's in Asia. I believe.
Wow.
I could be wrong. Magdalena, maybe Europe. Magdalena alpine, high in the mountains somewhere. All black butterfly. And of course, why would it be black? It lives in cold climates. It lives in cold climates. So the sun reflects off of white, right? But it's absorbed by black. So it would make the butterfly warmer, being all black. So isn't that a beautiful butterfly? Magdalena alpine.
Yeah.
I'd have to look up. I forget where he's from, actually. Oh, I'm sorry. It's from the United States. It's from the Rocky Mountains.
Wow.
How do you like that?
Wow.
But it's at higher altitudes.
Say its name again.
What's that?
Say its name again.
Magdalena alpine.
By the way, just for people, we had
like
a couple
Mary
of
Magdalene, like Mary Magdalene, the famous
Well,
woman in the Bible.
person.
I want to see Mike Artell do some drawing, but before we do that, there were a couple of publishing questions, and I'm going to hold up two websites. Can you see that or no?
Yeah.
www.
SCBWI.
Yep.
Society for Children's Book Writers and Illustrators.
Good job. And the next one is?
Right for kids with the number
write4kids.
4.com.
Yeah.
That's a great both of them are great websites.
These two websites, that'll get you started. They're wonderful websites to go to get involved in how to format a manuscript.
Melanie, that's for you, especially with your question.
I thought it was Melissa.
Melanie.
Okay.
Melanie. Okay.
Oh, thanks, Mike. You're saying the monarch is the state butterfly for Alabama, Idaho, Illinois, Minnesota, Texas, Vermont, and West Virginia. That's fantastic.
Wow.
Great. It's a lot.
Sure.
Mike Artell, do you have any drawing ability?
I could fake it.
Oh, let me do it.
Excuse me. Well, I didn't want to make this too complicated. I wanted to keep it real cartoony because we don't have a lot of time, and you could get very detailed with this. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up a screen here. I'm going to do a very cartoony little drawing, and everybody's welcome to draw along if you like.
Yeah.
Remember, the whole idea here is to have fun with it. You know, cartoons are different than regular art. In cartooning, you want to kind of make people smile or laugh. So we're going to keep this very simple here. Make this look like a friendly little butterfly. And we'll bend his little antennae down a little bit. That makes it kind of funnier. Now, the one thing you want to do, and a lot of times when kids draw butterflies, you know, that they'll do like this, like that, which is fine. But make those wings bigger than you think they should be and kind of pointy. And you come around like that. See that? I'll do that again. Watch.
Ah,
Go out like that. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, kind of symmetrical. Comes in a little bit like that. That one's a little bigger. Let me try it again. That's something I want kids to understand. I almost never get this right the first time I do it. So same thing with writing, same thing with illustration. So there's the wings. And now I'm going to come down, just start here in the body and draw a big piece here. A big piece here. Okay.
oh, I thought
Yeah.
we were done.
Okay.
They
Now-
have 4 wings, correct.
Wings. There you go. Look at that. Okay. And just put some circles on there toward the edges of the wings.
What species is this?
Well, it's monarch-like.
Okay.
It's the state butterfly of Artell.
Yeah, that's right. The state of confusion. Okay. So then you just want to remember, we're not trying to make this exactly accurate. What we're trying to do is kind of give the impression and understand that there are basically 4 wings, antennae. You know, you want the basics here. The idea is to have some fun with it. So
Yeah.
you want to put some big shapes, just big shape, and kind of come close to those circles. You don't want a lot of room in there because we're going to make these open spaces outside of these shapes we're making now. We're going to make those black, and you don't want too much black. You want a lot of orange. Okay. So anywhere in here, just put some spaces, just make it symmetrical because those shapes tend to be symmetrical. And there may be an anatomical reason for that. One of you guys who do a lot of butterfly things may know about that. But I'm just putting some kind of random shapes here. Okay. Now, normally we would put some more. I'll show you how to do this later, but I can do this really fast on my computer. You'll have to do it slower with your pencil, but you just blacken these in.
Wow.
Someone has written in and asked, Mike Artell, do you illustrate your own books?
About 90% of the time, yes. Sometimes I don't feel like the way that I draw is right for a particular book, so we'll ask someone else to illustrate it.
And normally, authors don't get to choose who will illustrate their book.
Very
The
true.
editors have a stable of illustrators that they usually use.
And you know, in fact, I discourage collaborations, like writers working with their friends who are illustrators, because what happens if the 2 of you work on something really hard, and then the publisher says, "Oh, we love your book, but we hate the illustrations." Then you have to go in and tell your friend the bad news. So now we could put, you know, there are a lot of veins and things like that, colors, you know, that you could add if you wanted here. It's really up to you to do that.
What would you do with the body, Mike?
I'm going to show you in just a second. The body is black too, and actually it has little circles on it. But if I
Right.
make it all black here, you won't be able to see the little guy
Right.
there, you know. So I'll show you what I'll do in just a minute. Let me just get some, just to give you an idea that, you know, there are some.
Here's the one that I just drew.
Wow, pretty good.
Thank you.
And okay, and then so what I'm going to do with the body is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to shade it with that.
Oh,
So
that's very cool.
you can see them, and then I'm going to put a little shading under here because this is See the wing on top
Yeah,
is kind of,
butterflies have 4 wings.
yep. And you see how it's sitting on top of that other wing?
Yep.
So once again, it gives a little shading there. So anyway, that's a little cartoony version of a monarch butterfly. Not perfect, but kind of fun to do.
That was pretty
Perfect.
fast. I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
Professor,
You were
Professor, I have a question.
such a good teacher, Mike.
Well,
Mike,
thanks.
I have a question. Where
Yeah.
are the legs? Where are the legs?
Oh, well, you know what? I'll show you. Watch. I didn't do the legs because I'll show you why. There. Okay. See, there are two that kind of, okay, if you look at it sideways, you have one here and one there, and then the back leg goes back. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, like that. So I'll put them in. Watch. See how hard they are to see on this, the black on the black?
Yeah.
That's why I didn't do it.
I thought you were going to say they're underneath.
Well, well, his head would be turned around then.
This is underneath.
Yeah. This is the underneath, right? So
All right.
anyway, so here's the idea.
Hey, let me say this. Hey, Mike, I see Mike wants me to wrap the book. Good
What's
job,
that?
Mike. I see Mike Kinder from West Virginia wants me to wrap sing the book. I'm unable to do it because the people who are doing this video, they want to keep it up for a very sustained period of time. And so I could only show a page or so from the book. So maybe I'll be able to rap sing that live for you sometime when I head up to West Virginia. Hey, Jerry, I know you don't mind me saying this, but and add to it, Jerry, but if the viewers go to our websites, we all have websites that are in our names. I am michaelshoulders.com, mikeartell.com.
2 L's.
2 L's in Artell, steveswinburne.com, and jerrypallotta.com. Jerry, add to that.
What would I add?
Oh, anything. I mean,
What a team player, huh?
What a lead up.
I'll add to it. We certainly want people to be reading in these tough times that we have, and we're kind of confined inside. And any book, just get your hands on multiple books, but our 4 books are available, I think, from our web pages that they can get them if they're interested in some of this stuff, some of the things that they've seen.
In my case, you can get my books at scholastic.com/book clubs. They now, because of the virus, deliver to people's homes. Scholastic has always delivered to the classroom for the last 100 years. Because of this virus, they'll now deliver to someone's home. So scholastic.com/book clubs. That's where my books are. And also jerrypallotta.com. I have my own web store. So you can check that out. So you could get my books at either place.
And let me give a shout out to the independent bookstores, because a lot of people are going to places like Amazon, it's okay, but we've got to keep those independent bookstores in business during these tough times. And a lot of those independent bookstores, and you probably have one in your neighborhood, in your town, they will do drop off, they will do deliveries, you can make a call, you can do it online, and they'll have a pickup curbside service for you to keep those bookstores in business, which we need to do.
I'll do a shout out to Buttonwoods Books in Cohasset, Massachusetts. Hi, everybody.
Northshire Bookstore in Vermont, Manchester, Vermont.
A little toy shop in Jackson Square in New Orleans.
Crickets. Is that the cricket bookstore? My shoulders.
We must not be big enough.
Oh, well, don't feel bad. Yeah. After we shut this down, this stream, Mike's gonna go, I forgot.
A viewer, not a viewer, someone behind the scenes are asking for a song.
Oh,
all right.
That's Steve's department.
Uh-oh, I'm being attacked.
Hey!
Say hi.
Hey,
Hi
sweet.
there.
Did you do a poop? Raise your hand if you did a poop.
Can I tell you the 3 questions my father asked my daughter? He
Yeah.
goes, did you do a poop? Who likes wine? Coffee? Those are his 3 questions.
Inappropriate.
I'm a grandfather. What's wrong with those questions?
Seems fine to me.
Would you guys like to hear a little song?
I usually ask my grandkids, what's my name? And they give me a blank stare.
I'm gonna mute mine so I don't come in on you and take away from your screen.
All right, here's a song. I had a book out called Whose Shoes Will You Wear, which is all about shoes, and it's about what kind of shoes you might wear when you grow up. This is a photo book that I took the photographs for. Maybe you could be a farmer. Maybe you could be an astronaut. Maybe you could be a dentist. Maybe you could be a football player. So I wrote this song, and the chorus is very easy. I'm going to teach you the chorus so you can sing along. It goes like this. Whose shoes will you wear? Will you wear? Will you wear? Whose shoes will you wear? Will you wear? Will you wear? Whose shoes will you wear when you do the work that you do? You guys ready? Count me in.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
I wake up in the morning, got some place to go. I'm looking for my shoes. I really want to know whose shoes will you wear? Will you wear? Will you wear? Whose shoes will you wear? Will you wear? Will you wear? Whose shoes will you wear when you do the work that you do? Could it be a whoa?
Come on.
Oh my Lord. Could it be a teacher standing all the day? Could it be a farmer piling up the hay? What a rock star rocking out the beat. What about a shortstop twirling on his cleat? Whose shoes will you wear? Will you wear? Will you wear? Whose shoes will you wear? Will you wear? Will you wear? Whose shoes will you wear when you do the work that you do? All right, Mike Artell, here we go. Maybe you're a singer, dancer, lawyer, captain, chef. Maybe you're a writer, soldier, doctor, dentist, nurse. Maybe you're a banker, boulder, baker, billionaire. Maybe you're a pilot flying people in the air. Maybe you drive NASCAR, zipping in fast cars. Maybe you're an astronomer, counting all the stars. Whose shoes will you wear? Will you wear? Will you wear? Whose shoes will you wear? Will you wear? Will you wear? Whose shoes will you wear when you do the work that you do? Woo! Thank you. Thank you very
Another
much.
standing
I hope you,
ovation. Another
thank you very
standing
much. And
ovation for
we
us.
hope we pass the audition.
Hey,
Yeah, right.
thank you, everybody, for having a wonderful day. Did anybody else have anything?
I think we got all the questions answered. I believe so.
Yep, think so. We
Thank
are
you.
done. All right.
Thank
Jerry,
you,
Bye.
Mike.
Thank you for
guys.
checking in with
Bye,
us.
guys.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you, Mike Artell from New Orleans. Wonderful author. Thank you, Steve Swinburne from Vermont. Wonderful author. Thank you, Mike Shoulders from Tennessee. A wonderful author. We're all road buddies. We meet each other at schools and conferences. And this is fun being together. Thank you for the technology. And we're sorry we're not in school, but we're not going to be in bad moods. We're going to keep writing books. We're going to keep singing. We're going to keep talking to kids.
Are
Talk
you
to
gonna,
everyone later.
are you doing
See you
this
later.
next week, Jerry? Are you going to
Yes.
continue this? Okay.
I hope to keep doing it. Yeah.
Thank you,
Next week at
Jamie and
11.
Mary Alice.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
I hope
Bye-bye.
to do
Join us.
every
See you.
day at 11 o'clock live.
Okay.
Every day at 11 o'clock live.